Yeah, tomorrow will be different, right, David?
It is. As a matter of fact, tomorrow morning, guys, could see some of that little wintry weather moving through, so we'll touch on that. Want to get to our 3-degree guarantee. We're starting there, for crying out loud, just to take a break from the winter weather. Just a second. 50 predicted high, 51 the official high. We'll call that a win. Put $10 more in the 3-degree guarantee jackpot. $180 now. We will keep it climbing every time we're right, and we will give it away at the end of the month. But you have to register to win. Local3news.com/3-degree tomorrow. Ooh, 36 for the high tomorrow. 36. Well, right now it's 38, so we may be at about 36 degrees at midnight, keep cooling down, then re-warm back up to about 36 in the afternoon. 34 Cleveland, 38 Dalton, and 32 degrees in Murphy. Winds out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour. So wintry mix Saturday morning. We're having to put that in the forecast now. Mid-afternoon, we're going to see that rain wintry mix combination, and then the wintry mix changes over to heavy rain as we progress through the day on Sunday, and that could lead to some localized flooding. Nothing widespread, but definitely it is going to be heavy at times. Icing setup, looking at the Gulf air coming up from the north around that low. You can see this warm front sticking up, and underneath that is relatively warmer air. It's meeting that cold Arctic air coming down, and that's where the ice is. And we will be on the southern end of this system where the rain, the ice, all the nasty weather mixes together. So let's get through our latest futurecast, and you can see about 7 o'clock getting a little bit of something over to the west there. That green represents rain, but freezing rain possibly, quickly changing over to snow showers. Yes, that's right, snow showers. So from about 7 a.m. until about 11 a.m., we could see these light snow showers working their way through. Now, after 11 o'clock, we'll see all of that lifting northward, so we'll have a couple of hours where we don't see much of anything before the main show starts to work in late on Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening, and that's where we will have temperatures, again, a little bit above freezing at the surface, so we'll have some rain definitely mixed in, especially in the valley, but this is also sleet and freezing rain where we could see some of that beginning to accumulate on power lines and things of that nature, especially as we begin to cool down. It could be a little more widespread. That's 8 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock at night, you can see the freezing rain and sleet continuing, especially in those higher elevations. Would you look at that? You can see the Sequatchie Valley clearly in the middle there, and especially on the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Cumberland Plateau, those areas are where we could see some of the higher ice accumulation amounts. Sunday morning, a lot of rain. We're going to see that warm air. You can see the warm front. This is the relatively warm air beginning to work its way in. It's going to be in the upper 20s and low 30s on Sunday morning, but freezing rain is still going to be possible in the morning. By mid-morning, I think we are primarily looking at just rainfall, and then that rain is going to be heavy at times. This is noon, and look at that, just torrent of water working its way through. This is 3 p.m. It's still raining. 7 o'clock, we see everything pushing out, and we will see cold air rushing in with maybe a few flurries on Monday. Might have a little black ice as some of that moisture remains on surfaces on Monday morning. You'll need to look out for that as well. Winter watches and warnings. The big one is the ice storm warning, all in purple, up to a ½ inch of accumulation. Locally, higher amounts are still possible. Polk County, Monroe County, not officially under the ice storm warning, but you could still see up to a ½ inch of accumulation. This is our future ice accumulation model, and you can see up to a ½ inch again. Maybe locally higher amounts. There's a 0.59, a 0.52, so we're keeping an eye on that big time because you get a ½ inch to a ½ inch of ice, and that's when you're talking about widespread power outages, tree limbs breaking, and stuff you just don't need in your life. Rainfall, 2 to 3 inches of rain expected over the weekend. Again, that's not going to produce any major flooding, but a little ponding on the roads, localized flooding of some low-lying areas, possibly 2 to 3 inches of rain. Excessive rainfall, marginal risk. That means, again, we could see some localized, isolated areas of flooding. Want to show you this map. Not very active right now, but we'll be using it tomorrow. Power outages. We do have 200 homes without power in Hamilton County, and it looks like we have a few east of Fannin County. So the map works, and we will be lighting that thing up, I am sure, tomorrow. Cloudy and breezy tonight, below freezing. We'll drop down to 28 Chattanooga, 23 Altamont. And again, with that wintry mix moving through tomorrow, we could see some ice on the roads tomorrow. So please be aware of that. Tomorrow afternoon, the isolated wintry mix in the morning changes over into a rain, freezing rain, sleet mix. 36 for the high, 37 Cleveland. Athens, Altamont won't even give above freezing through the day. A few flurries, maybe some areas areas of black ice as we see that cold air rushing in Monday, 18 in the morning, 7 on Tuesday, and it is going to be bitterly cold all week with lows in the teens all week next week, guys.